How do you find that, not being in the industry? How long does it take you to find out what is the ideal customer?
Yeah. So look, when you're in big business, you'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on market research with these agencies to do cohort analysis and all this kind of stuff. But in smaller business, you just got to ask the questions, and it won't be statistically significant to a 95% confidence interval. But if you can ask hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of your customers key questions about how often, some of them you don't even need to ask. You can get it out of your data. How often do they shop with us? What's their average shopping basket size? What type of products or services are they purchasing? Are they the low end or the high end ones? And you can kind of segment your customers without even talking to a customer, just based on your sales data, right? But then you start talking to them and then match that up. What type of people are buying the high value services and products? What type are buying the ones that I don't make a lot of margin off? How frequently are the people buying the high level ones, the low level ones? What's the average size? How many times do they shop? Getting a feel for it. And that kind of forms them into buckets. So we have 6 buckets in Inspirations Paint, and we got fun names for them. So our number one segment, they're 20% of the market, and this is on the retail side, mum and dad's painting their houses, adventurous DIYers. They love to paint. They love to talk about their project. They want the person in the shop to match their passion and their energy about it. They want to talk about it, and they're confident, but they like extra tips. And if they do it, and they do a great big wallpaper wall or feature wall or kitchen cupboards in bright mustard orange, and it's no good, they'll do it again. You know, they're painting forward people. So you're selling to the converted. They're the least price sensitive, so we make the most money. And there's lots of them. It's 20% of the market. There's another group called advice thieves. They're younger, they're more female, they come in, they get all the advice, and they go to Bunnings and buy it because they think it's cheaper, even when it's not. So we have a really good understanding. We spent 50 grand in 2012 on that segmentation thing. I understand that's way too much money for smaller businesses, but this is the type of thing you can do it on the back of a napkin just by looking at your sales data in your system and asking some key questions of your customers.
How would you know what buckets the customer would be in when they come into a shop? Because to me, we measure part of our data when we make when we bring on new clients and different types of jobs and our invoicing, so we can look at it strategically. And I love this conversation, by the way. But we do that by drop down tabs when we're putting the information into our job management system. If Ben was running the paint shop or there was an Inspirations Paint and a customer just came in, how would you measure that customer to be an adventurous buyer?
Absolutely. So there's a few questions, and these guys, we don't teach them how to do this. They just do it organically. There's questions they can ask that, have you painted much before? Because we know one of the key determinants of which segment you're in is how experienced a painter are you. So if you're a first timer, he's going to feel it in his gut, right? Or if they've come in and go, mate, it's my 10th house. I know what I'm doing. I've got investment properties. I got this, I got that. You suss it out really quickly. You ask them key questions that are in our training thing. Where are you up to with prep? Prep, what's prep? Okay, this guy's a novice. Oh yeah, I've sanded everything down. I've done this, I've done that. I know about adhesion and abrasion. And Ben's like, I know this guy is an adventurous DIYer, right? And he's not asking about price. So he's definitely an adventurous DIY. The guy that's coming and going, how much can you do for a Berger 10 litre, blah, blah, blah. I can get it down the road at $60. Yeah, mate, go down the road.
Yeah.
So we don't have to train a lot of it because that's just really authentic to what the guys do every day. But once you know what your buckets are and who the ones are that make you the most and are positioned the right way for your offering, then you can ask just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 questions and you'll understand immediately which bucket they fall into.
So you're training them to, because like you said, they know how to identify it. You're just training them to say the appropriate questions to get the best outcomes.
Yep. Yep.
And then when the transaction gets put in the system, do you put them under a certain category?
We don't even. I would love that, but if I tried to tell our 600 staff across
At
110
scale,
stores,
it's going to be a
they'd
nightmare.
just tell me to nick off.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not doing that. We're too busy tinting it, carrying it to their car, recording it. You know, like it's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But we use the data in other ways.
Yeah.